Jodie Foster just got into the cab. This is the introduction of Jodie Foster. That's Harvey Keitel. So this is what I think. If Trump loses, on the off chance that he will, there's no guarantee that he will, given the voter suppression and gerrymandering and all that. But let's say he loses. There's no way he's going to go out without a fight. And my guess is Biden's going to say, or not Biden, but Biden's representatives are going to say, everyone is just going to come up to him and say, listen, you might have the cops on your side, we got the military. Here is a list of crimes we can prosecute you for. Here's the evidence that we have. So walk away, and you get immunity.
I doubt it. If there was a scenario where
you don't think they'll just blackmail him out of office?
No, I think that if there's ever a situation where he doesn't leave office, it'll be a civil war between the military. That there's enough of his supporters and enough people who don't support him that the military itself would
the military will escort him out of there. But here's the thing: is
what do you do with all the people who do support him?
They just go back to fucking Dunkin' Oreos and they go back to refrying frying Oreos and shit. They'll just go back into their fucking holes. Dude, and the cops and Biden's gonna give the cops a big bump. Is gonna give the cops a bunch of money. It's
well,
not gonna fucking happen.
Of course, because even any pro-capitalist, like Biden would see that there is no way out of the economic crisis created by COVID-19 without increasing police surveillance, basically giving the police the ability to have CIA surveillance.
Yeah, but that doesn't stop crime. But here's the thing.
It won't stop crime, but it will allow them to shut down the social unrest created by
here's the thing. If they could have shut down the social unrest, they would have did it. Here's the thing, and also these cities are gonna be getting hit with a pile of lawsuits, not just from everyday folks, but from fucking the news reporters that were getting shot at and shit. You cannot. These are corporate media sources. You can't go after their fucking reporters. They got fucking lawyers. I think if you really are revolutionary, don't you want to find out what happens if he loses? I mean, don't you want to see if that sets off a fucking unrest? Because that will set off a fucking...
Yeah, it will set off unrest, and the problem is that whenever you create that much unrest, people demand order.
Yeah, they're going to take it to the Supreme Court, is what's going to happen. And they're going to try to pull off another 2,000. But if there's enough, but that vote was very close.
Enough of the high-ranking generals will
no, the
be
generals
against him.
The generals have to do what the Supreme Court says, though. But
yeah,
regardless,
that
if
would
Trump
take too long.
Fucking
They'd step
wins,
in long before that.
Dude, even if Trump wins, I think there's going to be another uprising. Okay, it was very chic back in the 70s to actually take people to porn movies, but my argument here is he takes her to the wrong porn movie. Look at this. This is a dirty movie. Maybe, I don't want to sound like a misogynist here, but maybe Sybil Shepherd should just, be less sexy. Look at her, dude! She's objecting to going into a porn movie while looking at him like she wants to suck his cock. This chick fucking can't even fucking... This chick cannot... This chick can't set an alarm clock without looking like she wants to fuck it. He took her to a fucking documentary. Okay, Paul Schrader says that this is his way of fucking up the situation by saying, this is who I really am.
Wait, what do you mean?
He's telling her who he really is. Before he's got the suit on and he's being gentlemanly, but he hates himself. So he can't hide this part of himself from her.
So what's wrong with that?
Well, you've got to wait till you're in a relationship before. Everybody waits until their relationship before you find out all their bad parts.
No, you do that right up front. And
No, you don't. Well, to be honest, sweetheart, let's fuck is kind of exciting. And here, here's the thing though about incels. Every once in a while, ladies, just for the sake of society, just for society's sake, maybe you should consider taking one for the team. You know, imagine what a difference she'd make if she fucked.
yeah, but at the same time, how are you supposed to know the difference between just a guy who takes you to a porn theater and somebody who's going to shoot a senator?
You don't. Oh, I love this. Watch this. He's calling her. He's phone stalking her. Watch what the camera does. This is amazing. He's getting rejected. Yeah. Yeah, it's a 24-hour fuck Travis. It's not a virus. She has a disability, which is she doesn't fuck losers. I just love when he takes you to the porn theater and he's like, well, I don't know much about movies. See, the camera the camera can't look at him anymore. It's so embarrassing. Like, the camera is literally embarrassed to watch this, so it just moves away. Dude, that's fucking awesome.
I tried several times to call her, but after the first call...
But yeah, and I love how here's a big problem. Here's what encourages incels is we don't have honest conversations about these things. And yeah, I do want to clarify. When we talk about incels, we're not talking about charming quadriplegics with huge hogs. We should have sex workers for those people, and the state should pay for those. But she sends the flowers back. Hey man, at least she's not indifferent. She could have thrown them away. She's really sending you a message right now. Also, this is not how you deal with rejection. You deal with rejection by fucking her best friend.
Well, he'd have to stalk her, get to know her best friend, then...
Yeah, well, he fucked up. He fucked up from day one. He fucked up by moving to New York. You belong in Texas, bro. Karate. It's the days before MMA. When somebody stands like that, you just assumed. Back then, you could just pretend you knew karate and people would believe it. Police, look at this Steven Crowder motherfucker. Oh, did you see that video of Steven Crowder?
No.
He comes by after the riots, and there's a guy who had been doing murals of different people killed by the police.
Yeah.
And it's a community project. Mm-hmm. And then Steven Crowder's like, tries to debate him. And it's just a street artist, and this street artist just slaughters him where he stood. And also was just alpha mailing this motherfucker, Steven Crowder, because Steven Crowder's a punk bitch. So, okay, now look and see if you can find Martin Scorsese in this scene. Do you think you can see him?
Did I tell you to do that at the meeting? Put the meeting down. Let the numbers go on. I don't care what I have to pay.
Tell me when you give up.
I'm not getting out.
Can you see him?
No.
You can't see him?
That's right. Put it down.
That's him?
Why do you write? Don't write. Put the thing down. Just sit.
This is back when he was doing blow. I can never tell, but how do you tell when he's on coke and when he's not on coke? So, yeah, so anyways, so they're talking. One thing the street artist brought up was all the fucking broads um, calling cops on people.
Yeah.
He's like, I would never do that. Crowder does that. After he loses the fucking argument, right? Crowder gets mad after losing the debate, and he goes, well, I'm calling the police on you because I don't think that you got permission to make this painting. And then some fucking white guy steps in and just goes, yeah, like I'm part of the city council, and yeah, this is the thing we do. So you got to go, guys. Because Crowder had like 5 guys with him, and they were essentially just threatening this dude for doing a painting. It was the most ridiculous fucking shit.
Wait, the city council member that was there
Yeah.
to tell him it was a commissioned mural?
Yeah, and then he's like, well, we're going to call the police anyways.
Wait.
I'd like to fucking beat the fuck out of that dude. That fucking piece of shit who won't debate Sam Cedar because his daddy fucking won't let him. Did you ever hear that story?
What?
So, Sam Cedar has been challenging Steven Crowder to a debate. It became an online thing.
That would be
They were supposed to do it. They were supposed to do it at a forum, at one of these little YouTube forums or one of these media forums, and one of the organizers says we have to cancel the event. And Cedar started asking questions, and he had an email exchange with this person, and the person told him that his father, who is his manager, won't let him debate you.
Wait, his father's his manager?
Yeah, Crowder's father is Crowder's manager, and Crowder's father told Crowder he's not to debate Sam Cedar.
What does his father do?
His father must have watched the Majority Report, saw Cedar debating a libertarian, and went, "You can't do this.
No, but
This is going to be humiliating."
But unless like you're an heir to some industry, like why would you decide to turn your kid into a conservative media figure?
Well,
unless you had a bunch of money that you can just bankroll to put his shitty opinions online.
Well, he's being banked. He's probably being bankrolled by the Koch brothers. He's he was started off as a comic. He when he was a kid, he won some comedy contests like in Canada or something. And then he just got recruited by some conglomerate, and now he gets funding that way. I'm actually talking over this monologue. Shit. Okay, fuck. I'll do it for you. So he was saying that's his wife in another guy's apartment. He used the N-word. And he goes, he's basically being cucked. And then he goes, I have a 44 Magnum. He goes, you ever seen what a 44 Magnum does to a woman's face? Blows it clean off. He goes, he's like, you ever seen what a 44 Magnum does to a woman's pussy? That you should see. You should see what a 44 Magnum does to a woman's pussy. Oh, wait, this is great. Oh, can we turn up like just a hair? I love this. He's talking about a gay couple in his cab. Got into a fight.
Do what you want. Tell him to go to California. Because out in California, when two fakes split up, one's got to pay the other one alimony.
I love his reaction. Watch.
Out there. They're way ahead out there, you know?
Look at these fucking 70s New York cab drivers are all woke and shit. Yeah, way ahead over there.
The fact that they could have common law marriage.
They're really ahead of it. Yeah, God bless you. God bless you, kids. Hey, you want to take a cock up your ass? God bless you. God bless you. You want to suck some cock and fondle some testicles instead of making it with the lady? Hey, more power to you. God bless. God bless.
Can I talk to you for a second? I killed it.
See? The black dude.
Oh.
And then in a minute, there's another black dude.
Yeah, that... Why is he trying to stare him down?
Because he don't like the black people. Which, again, listen, Travis. Incels, you need to find another passion in your life. Women love a man with purpose. You have to have a goal in your life. You have to have a passion to follow. They will be attracted to your passion. They will say, I want to be a part of that. You're wandering around fucking selling, fucking giving rides to these fucking yahoos and shit. You got no purpose in your fucking life. You got no reason to be there. You don't even like a large chunk of the population. Makes you uncomfortable. You don't like the smell of the fucking place. Move to Texas and get into, like, be a cowboy, man.
It is a city, like, so chances are you do walk by sewers that are just burping up.
Oh, yeah. That's the old Bill Hicks thing where he's like, that's why I smoke. They're like, if you smoke, you lose your sense of smell. And he's like, I live in New York. Where, like, I'm out, sniffing out dead bodies or what?
No, I really want to. I got some bad ideas in my head.
So, yeah, I get annoyed. The media doesn't have honest conversations about incels. And, you should really stop. You can on one hand, and this is what I mean. So, PUA, the term PUA hate. So I was reading an article about Elliot Rodgers, and they kept saying PUA hate. And I was like, well, at a certain point in that article, you should explain that PUA hate means they hate pickup artists.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be. Instead, they were using that phrase to imply that PUA is hateful. So
Well, I mean,
that's not helping the situation.
There are certain, like what's his name, Rushvi or whatever, like that
Who?
guy. Rushvi.
I've never heard of that guy.
Oh, he was a pickup artist, like in their mid 2000s, and like in the I think around 2012-13, he was convicted on a rape charge.
Well, then he wasn't a pickup artist if he was a rapist. So these guys, these are the type of incels and the type of people I'm referring to, are the type that believe pickup artist is proof that women essentially are in a power position when it comes to dating. And so therefore,
because
we can't admit this as men. We should always, it's nice to pretend that otherwise in order to impress other men and to impress other women. But, if we were to speak honestly, in truth, they write the rules. One such rule is that you should never acknowledge that they write the rules. And so pickup artists acknowledge that, and their argument is you need to adapt to the needs and the wants of these women. And incels, and that particular brand of incel refuses to conform to that, although I think they're just lazy or not dealing with their own personal issues, and and I understand if you don't have the resources to deal with certain aspects of your personality, but but at a certain point in pickup, it's mostly about inner working on yourself, and just a lot like fascists. They just working class fascists. They just don't want to admit. Somebody said being a left winger is exhausting. They don't want to actually take the real red pill and realize capitalism.
Well, it's like, okay.
By the way, that's another way to get rid of incels. Destroy capitalism.
Yeah, in order to believe capitalism, all you have to do is repeat the phrase, communism works in theory but not in practice, and not think about it ever again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all you have to do to believe in capitalism.
Yeah.
In order to be raised in a capitalist society and challenge it, there's like like a giant fucking reading list that you have to get through.
Yeah. So like for instance, if we lived in a socialist society, I just can't help but think I would get as much pussy as I would get more pussy than Carrot Top. I just think I do. I would.
I'm not sure that's exactly
Nothing against
how
Carrot
it
Top.
worked.
Nothing against Carrot Top, but I just think that like, you know, his mansion, all that shit. That's kind of like.
And he's fucking ripped.
Yeah, but I mean that there's probably some cash involved in that one too.
Oh, he's definitely going to a steroid clinic.
Yeah, I heard some of it was surgical.
Really?
Jodie Foster.
Implants?
All right, hey, this is great. Okay. So, do you know? Now, I get the guy that shot John Lennon confused with the guy who shot Ronald Reagan. The guy that shot John Lennon is in prison and will always be in prison because there's a big difference between shooting John Lennon and shooting Ronald Reagan.
One of
That's
them
a
is
real
morally
prostitute.
justified.
That's a real prostitute. They got a lot of her dialogue from the hot blonde. Can you imagine? I would pay money to fuck that chick. So, I've seen that, by the way. In Chicago, I saw a dude walking down the street just like that. Mm-hmm. And just walked right up. Everyone got out of the way, and then one dude wasn't paying attention. Then he looks up, the guy's right in his fucking face. And the guy just froze like a deer in headlights. So the guy that shot Ronald Reagan, he was trying to impress Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
He had seen this movie 7 times. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he did, when they locked him up, he was...
Isn't it a shame that the one person who there should have been a political assassination...
Okay, pause. Okay.
What?
I just didn't want you to finish that sentence. So we went to so he did 25 years, I guess,
mm-hmm.
so roughly, in a hospital, right?
Yeah.
He's out now. He'd been calling her on her phone at Yale or Princeton or wherever she went to school at.
Yeah.
So he gets out of fucking... You want to talk about bad luck or bad timing. And I'm trying not to sound like a misogynist, but here's where some personal or some community responsibility, ladies, comes in. Jodie Foster waits until after John Hinckley gets out of prison, or whatever his name was, gets out of the hospital before she comes out of the closet. I think maybe the time to come out of the closet might have been when the guy is stalking you. Mm-hmm. And shoots somebody to impress you, right? Do you think that would have been an opportune time to be like, calls her up and he's like, I'm not into dudes. You can shoot all the people you want to, but it's not going to put a dick in my mouth. You know? Don't you think? Instead, he gets out of prison. He reads in the paper, she's gay? Boy, I got egg on my face. Okay, I have a theory.
I'm pretty sure even if she was gay, he'd think shooting Reagan would turn her.
Maybe not. It's certainly worth it. It certainly doesn't... no skin off her snatch. No hair off her snatch. I think this is Martin Scorsese. This guy's name's Steve Prince. I got a funny story about this. I think this is Martin Scorsese's drug dealer. I think this is Martin Scorsese's coke dealer. I looked at his IMDb. It's very shoddy. It's very spotty. He has production credits on The Last Waltz and on New York, New York. Last Waltz was all rock stars and Martin Scorsese. Mm-hmm. And there's a legendary shot where Neil Young had a big old piece of cocaine hanging off his nostril during one of the shots. He has a production credit on that. He also has a production on New York, New York, which was essentially Scorsese OD'd sometime during that around that
Really?
time. Yeah. I think this guy, Steve Prince, was Martin Scorsese's coke dealer. And by the way, this is my favorite scene, probably. He is so good. Because look at what... Just watch him. He's just such a hustler, dude.
It's nickel-plated, snub nose. Otherwise, the same as a service revolver. That'll stop anything that moves. For Magnum, they use that in Africa for killing elephants.
Thank you for not using the N-word.
It's a fine gun.
Oh, wait, he does use the N-word. Everybody drops an N-bomb in this.
Oh, like toys. That 38. You go out and hammer nails with her all day, come back and it'll cut dead center on target every time.
I wouldn't use a gun to hammer
It's got a
nails.
really nice action to it. A heck of a wallop. You interested in an automatic? It's a Colt 25 automatic. It's a nice little gun. It's a beautiful little gun.
So during
6 shots in the
while they
clip,
were filming
1
this,
shot in the chamber.
Scorsese interviewed him, and he had a bunch of stories about drug-related stories, and
Both 8 shots in the clip.
which is the other reason why I think he's a drug
That's a
dealer.
nice gun. And that's a beautiful little gun.
He's a fucking drug dealer. There's just no fucking way. During that interview, he told a story about a woman who OD'd and how he had a huge collection of different kinds of pharmaceuticals, and he took him and his friend took she OD'd. They couldn't wake her up. This is before Narcan or whatever. They opened up her shirt and they took a magic marker and they put it on her chest where her heart was. They took an adrenaline needle, jammed it through her chest, and stuck the adrenaline. Now, I don't know if he was making that story up, but he told that story in the fucking 70s. And it's word for word a description of the scene in Pulp Fiction.
Right. It's crazy.
Yeah, Tarantino stole that from Steve Prince.
250 for the 38, 1 1/4 for the 25, 150 for the 380. You take this, and wait here, I'll walk down with you.
Okay, here's how you know he's a drug dealer right
How
here.
about dope? Grass, ash, coke, mescaline, downers, nebutalol, chloral hydrates. How about uppers, amphetamines? No, I'm not interested in that stuff. Crystal meth, I get your crystal meth. Nitrous oxide. How about a Cadillac? I get your brand new Cadillac with the pink slip for $2 grand.
How about a Cadillac?
Oh my god, he's doing CrossFit.
Dude, he's passing on like coke and shit. That he's like, what about a Cadillac? Okay, so you don't want an 8-ball of coke, but would you want a Cadillac?
50 push-ups each morning, 50 pull-ups.
I don't understand why he's burning his hand.
No more bad food, no more destroyers of my body. From now on, it'll be total organization. Every muscle must be tight.
Now, what if you spent this much time in, first of all, following a passion, becoming politically active? I mean, honestly, he even says at some point, I'm searching for a purpose in my life. Why not get into politics? You're a veteran, babe. Would you just go to Vietnam like Forrest Gump and it didn't work out? It's throbbing now.
The idea had been growing in my brain for some time.
Yeah.
True force. All the king's men
Your
cannot
penis
put
could have
it
been
back
growing
together again.
in fucking Sybil Shepherd's mouth if you fucking handled things differently.
For someone who was in the military, he is holding that.
Like a homo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, the left hand is for when his dick is soft, and the right hand's for his. See, he's a righty. See, if the gun is a metaphor for a cock. I've seen a few dicks in my time. Have you ever seen an innie?
I have one sometimes.
I'm talking an innie. But although actually that's a term I use for transgender people. I go when somebody says, "Oh, he's transgender," I go, "Is he an innie or an outie?" Like, is Caitlyn Jenner an innie or an outie?
I don't even know what you're saying.
Oh, does he have a cock? Is Caitlyn Jenner an innie or an outie?
I think
Is there a
I think
hole?
she. Why? I don't know.
I think she's got a cock. Yeah, that tape thing. I guess that'll work. It only works once though. Better make it last. Okay, I'm gonna pause this.